Today I want to tell you about a very special group of people, a very unentered group of people in Democratic Republic of Congo. It is the Pygmy tribe. Traditionally, the Pygmies have been nomadic hunters, following game through the deep forests of the Congo, and generally they have been animists, worshiping things in the forest. They travel in small groups, usually a family or two, but maybe with 30 to 80 people in one group, and they've traditionally lived in kind of a dome-shaped like hut that's easily constructed from sticks and leaves. They're not very tall. Probably adult males might be 4.5 feet tall. And the women generally stayed behind, like these ones you see behind me now. Stay behind to take care of the children, do the cooking, the laundry, and things like this. But the men are expert hunters. They use nets, they use spears, poison arrows, and they can handle generally antelope, but most any kind of game, including up to elephants. They were experts in the forest. With the forest materials, they could make rope, simple tools, baskets, everything they needed in their life. In fact, they knew the leaves and the plants so well that they could make their own medicine. They knew which ones to gather as food, build their houses. They could do everything. They knew their world and thrived in it. They considered themselves to be the kings of the forest. Now, not everybody thought of them as the kings of the forest. There were a few neighboring tribes that actually hunted them as food because they considered them a little less than human. And that's why I think this tribe has been suspicious of outsiders, keeping to themselves. Their world in recent times has been collapsing. During the war years, rebels came and drove them from many of their traditional hunting grounds. In fact, in some cases, they exterminated whole camps of them. With automatic weapons, they wiped out much of the game. Then laws were passed that restricted the amount of hunting that was allowed. Slash and burn farming techniques have also taken much of the forest land. And finally, as peace has returned to DRC, the logging companies have come in and the big trees have been going down. Well, these simple people were almost 100% illiterate, didn't own any property or any land, and basically they were powerless to put a stop to any of this kind of change. They haven't been farmers through the years because in the forest, they generally were hunting each day, gathering each day, ate that day what they gathered. There wasn't a lot of thought for a long term in the future. So planting seed in the ground and waiting 3 months to harvest a crop is kind of a new idea to them because they were hunters and gatherers in the forest. What they got each day was what they ate each day. So that even today, they don't have very much interest in farming. They've gone from being the kings of the forest to the poorest of the poor. But out of this shambles has come good news. I'm excited to say that today they are open to the gospel. They're willing for their children to go and get an education, even a Christian education. Not very many years ago, the Adventist Church had not even penetrated even a little bit of the Pygmy tribe with the gospel for these last days. They'd been virtually unreached. But just a few years ago, a Korean businessman came and hired 5 pastors to go and start new churches. And eventually they started little groups of believers among 27 different camps. But because he was unable to carry that work on, we have taken on that work at Congo Frontline Missions. Currently we have 6 full-time church planters working in 30 camps. It's a slow and challenging work, but we're so excited because of the hundreds who have been baptized up to now. Education really is the key to their future. By God's grace, we've started 5 schools in those 30 Pygmy camps now. We're mixing some of the other tribes with the Pygmy tribe to eliminate prejudice and to give them new ideas in their thinking. And I want to tell you, I'm so excited because the Pygmy children are really doing great in school. But most importantly, they're learning about Jesus, their Savior. And this is giving them new hope for the future. It's kind of overwhelming to think of the challenge of reaching almost 1 million people. But with God, we know all things are possible. Our goals will be to train and hire more church planters, to build schools, train teachers. Maybe someday we'll even get some one-day schools here in this country. But eventually, we hope to have trained Pygmy workers to carry the message to their own tribe far away, to other unentered areas as missionaries. Won't you join us in this very important work? These people need help, your help. Your prayers and financial support will mean so much to carrying this work forward. I can't wait to see these kings of the forest become sons and daughters of the King of Kings and having a place in the kingdom for all eternity. Thanks so much for your prayers and your support. God bless you.